A little bit.
Welcome to the October 21st, 2025 meeting of the City of Reading's Historic Architectural Review Board. A full recording of tonight's meeting will be placed on the city's website after adjournment of the meeting. Chapter 295 of the City of Reading's Codified Ordinances requires that the HARB be guided by the United States Secretary of Interior Standards for Rehabilitation and Guidelines for Rehabilitating Historic Buildings. Chapter 180, Construction Codes, and by any policies and or guidelines hereafter adopted by the board or the City of Reading. While the meetings of the HARB are generally informal, Robert's Rules of Order are used to structure the proceedings and maintain decorum. The audio portion of these proceedings will be recorded for record keeping. When the applicant hears the name of his or her property called by the chair, they should wait for the preservation officer to present the property summary and application proposal. The chair will recognize the applicant when the time is appropriate for him or her to present any supporting information to the board. Applicants are asked to limit their presentation to 3 minutes. Is there any minutes to approve from September 2025?
I did send the September minutes out, but I don't know that the board has had a chance to review.
I am not either. Is that what you said today?
Yes, they are complete and you can review them for the next month.
Yeah. Okay, is there any conflicts of interest for tonight's agenda? Seeing none? The first application tonight is 241 South Fifth Street, Highland Real Estate Group. You can come up, sign the clipboard. Miss Johnson will give a brief description of property.
Okay, so this is 1 South Fifth Street. This 3-story building features a brick facade with a simple wood cornice at the 3rd floor roof line and original wood windows on the 1st and 2nd floor front facade. However, the original entrance has been compromised with the introduction of a modern fluted metal surround and commercial entrance door. The structure received a composite index rating of 50 and is not a contributing site in the Callow Hill Historic District. And tonight we are reviewing the proposal for the removal of 2 installed mini split air conditioning units from their current location above the 1st floor windows at the rear northern facade, of which the owner has appealed the HARB's original denial to City Council, and City Council had denied the location as well. So that is why the owner is back before us with a new proposal. And he's proposing to relocate the units at the ground level directly below where they are now. And the standards that apply to this project are standards number 2. The historic character of a property shall be retained and preserved. The removal of historic materials or alteration of features and spaces that characterize a property shall be avoided. Number 5, distinctive features, finishes, and construction techniques or examples of craftsmanship that characterize a historic property shall be preserved. And number 6, deteriorated historic features shall be repaired rather than replaced. Where the severity of deterioration requires replacement of a distinctive feature, the new features shall match the old in design, color, texture, and other visual qualities, and where possible, materials. Replacement of missing features shall be substantiated by documentary, physical, or pictorial evidence. And
So I think the board's familiar with this property. You guys have the meeting minutes from what we talked about at our executive meeting last week. I'm not going to get into the whole history of this, but the executive.
I say I put photos that we can pass around.
The executive committee found that they might be found appropriate. We were kind of okay with it being on the ground level. We were kind of torn about the louvered covers.
I do have a fabricator, but any ideas, any other ideas? I do work with
And
fabricators.
I misspoke and I apologize. I need to give you 3 minutes to talk about your project. Sorry.
I mean, we could talk, so you can do all the talking. I basically, I wanna express my, like, I wanna like express like, my willingness to comply with the order. And, you know, and the respect for the process, I really wanna start by saying that. After the hearing, I went back, I met with the installer and expressed what you guys wanted me to do. And then, obviously, he had his worries, his concerns regarding the units working properly. He contacted the manufacturer. And the manufacturer, after he expressed what we were trying to do and lay some line set on the roof. Basically, he came back and said, if you do that, we'll void the warranty. So then that's when I kind of set up a meeting with Amy and Mr. Bark attended, Michelle attended, to try to figure out what, and then the installer, JB Mechanical, showed up to that meeting as well, to express his concerns. And to offer, bring them down to the floor, keep them as close to the floor, but we still need 4 to 6 inches for them to operate efficiently, because they have to produce heat in the winter time. Okay, so. But yeah, that's, and then I did some research. There's different covers, but I thought that those louvered ones were probably the most simple, without getting too ornate, you know, just try to keep it. But I could basically have something designed that could.
And I think I need to say this for myself, that, you know, you've been in front of us a couple times and we gave you options and we could have had a discussion about all of this, but none of this other stuff really needed to happen if we would have just had that conversation.
Okay, and I don't mean to interrupt, but I don't remember like being offered that, and I don't.
You weren't offered that because there wasn't that discussion. I mean,
Okay,
we made our decision. And then you just went and did what you wanted to do. With some of that. With some of those parts of the property.
I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the whole city council thing and, you know, I just felt like that could have all been avoided, but that's up to you to do that.
I wish I could elaborate more into that. There was some stuff that was going on, but that's fine. We're here now and I
Right.
do. I mean, I'm not. Listen, in all honesty, I mean, I never disrespected that property. I never intended to. I mean, I spent a lot of money. I took a lot of care of it. I mean, if you look at the building, if you walk the building, I'd love to show you. You know, every detail was taken care of. I mean, I had every piece of trim. If I didn't restore it, I had a trim company, fabricator, duplicate it, not close,
Right.
exactly. So there was like all those inside the property as well. We kept as much as we could, considering the design that we were working with. But we did everything to keep that. And I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think the process is frustrating on both sides, so.
It's the time,
Yeah.
me getting sick, and then when I reached out to Amy and trying to get back on the schedule, kind of threw me off, but I already had guys lined up.
Right.
And then we have windows to be ordered, and that kind of like was where I got a little frustrated, because whether Amy wants to admit it. But she knows I don't. Or not, Amy knows that I'm not a BS builder, like she knows that I take a lot of passion in what I do, and I don't say it to be, believe me, I don't say it to be proud, I'm proud in how we do it.
You took a chance, you invested and, you know, hopefully you have good tenants and,
Oh, everything's good.
yeah, good.
Yeah, so I mean, and we're bringing we have 2 doctors from the Drexel, which was Originally, I
Nice.
designed them for all for the
Okay.
directional students. I have two there because I missed that deadline, unfortunately, because of my choices. But, so we have two doctors there, we have two nurses. And then we have, just,
Yeah. Good.
Back to the matter at hand, if we're here for now. The one question I have is. Looking at the two that are up on the roof, are they gonna stay there?
Yeah, those were approved.
They're approved,
Yes.
okay, so this is the two that are on the side, I don't have a problem with that. The thing I guess that I'm asking the question about is with these covers, it's nice that you wanna cover them. I mean, but I guess the whole key thing to this whole thing with the cover on it is it has to be vented one way or the other all the way around, otherwise it could be redundant, it's not gonna work anyway, so.
yeah, I know Mr. Barr, when we had to meet with Mr. Barr, who's an engineer, and also he wasn't a fan of trying to cover them up because those things need to breathe. So he was recommending we cover them. I'm just trying to do everything that I need to do to make sure that I make the historic district
Yeah.
happy. So I looked up covers in the event we need them covered, but I also know that there's other places in Center Avenue that aren't covered and you could see it clearly in
Yeah.
the street. So
Now, this is in the rear of the building, so that's really, who's gonna really actually see it outside the people going in that back door?
yeah, and that they're 180 feet from Pearl Street.
Okay,
But it's an open view from Pearl Street.
Well, you have
Yeah.
a garage there too. It's a very narrow
It's
view.
very narrow, okay.
And some of those on Center Avenue might be in violation too, just might not be aware of that.
Well, the funeral home, there's a lot, just saying, just a lot.
Red Cross, I'll add to it. Some of those are in violation.
It's just a little frustrating, that's it, but I mean, I'm not here to,
Right.
and in that picture that I took on an angle, it looks like that vent for the water heater
Yes.
will be in the way. And the window, but no,
That's
for
far.
from the window, we have literally 3 feet of
Oh.
clearance to the right.
Oh, okay.
The vent, we probably have about a foot of clearance if that comes down, and I intend to put another piece of kind of below the heat.
The other
Yeah,
direction.
More the,
Okay,
so
well, that's good.
we have clearance on both, if those come down, we have clear. Back the other way.
No, it's good. I have my pictures here. See them. Yeah. Yeah, I think that maybe protecting them just because it is. It's a passageway, right? And
That's
if
right.
you're
Wow.
moving equipment or people are coming in and out or you're removing snow, that they may need to be protected. I don't really have a problem either way. Or an issue either way, preference.
Yeah, I don't either. Anybody have any more questions? Concerns?
So we're either going to approve it with a cover or without a cover.
Or not?
At all, yeah.
And they just have to sit, what did you say, 4 to 5 minutes?
All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be at max 6 inches off the ground, they're about 4 to 6 inches. Is what they normally sell.
I don't have a problem with that. You know, the type of product that you're dealing with, that's what they do. You have to have them outside. And usually they're sitting on the ground.
the covers that you had proposed, what were they gonna be made of?
They're metal.
Metal?
Yeah.
Cause I guess the one thing I was thinking of is if something bumped it, would it damage it?
I haven't, I mean, I just was doing some
Yeah,
research and
probably
trying
rather
to
damage
find
that
one of the
than
more
use.
recommended companies. But.
it be your preference to have the covers on or not?
I mean, do I want an extra expense
not
after all the
gonna
windows right there? No, I don't wanna spend any more money than I have to, but I gotta move them down. But if it would. If it would keep it from looking. Historical, I'll do whatever. Yeah, I'll do whatever I have to do.
I don't like.
The reason they were put there is just so, protect them from theft. Bunch of stuff, there is, people,
Yeah, that's a concern.
Make it a little bit more of a deterrent, that's for sure, so.
yeah, that's why they were put up and, we normally. We don't have tenants move in through the back of the building, we can't have a moving truck blocking the parking lot, so. We ask that they move through the front, however,
Oh.
when we're moving. Like washers, we have 2 washers, 3 dryers, it comes through the back there, so.
Okay, I'll make a motion if there's no other
Thanks,
discussion. Yep, okay. So I move to issue a COA for 241 South Fifth Street for the reinstallation of the 2 exterior mini split AC units from the location they're currently at above the windows down to the ground as proposed. The applicant is free to cover those or not. I don't have a particular preference. If you were to cover them, ensure that they match whatever paint color
Sure,
they're
Well, that's
with.
why I think I showed the white ones, because the
Yeah.
bottom
Yep.
of that building is painted
Okay,
white.
all right. And then the conduit as well, whatever colors that passes over, ensure that that blends in with,
I think Amy wants the back lines painted, I haven't painted them because I'll paint everything I want.
okay.
Yeah, the same
Yeah,
color
yeah.
as the facade.
So for the meter
Oh,
base
you
as
mean the
well,
back, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. All right. All right, that's what I'm gonna do.
I'll second that motion.
Mr. McDevitt,
Yes,
Mr. Booth,
abstain.
Mr. Polachek,
Yes,
Ms. Weller.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yep, you're welcome.
Thank you, Steve.
thank you.
As they normally say, don't be a stranger, okay? I'm sure you don't wanna see us. I mean that in the nicest way possible.
Thank
See you
you.
later. All right, he's like, I don't want to see those people again.
All right. 401 Oley Street,
Correct.
correct? Okay, you missed our opening talk, so you're gonna wanna come up,
Okay,
sign the clipboard.
yeah,
And Ms. Johnson is gonna give a description of the property, and then you have 3 minutes to tell us why you're here.
so.
John Hugh originally constructed this classical revival style building as private residence in 1921. The geometry of the facade is defined through the central entrance and porch, symmetrical windows and wrought iron balconies, and east-west extensions of the main building. The fourth entranceway features Doric order columns and is framed with a wrought iron balustrade. The building features a low-pitched terracotta tiled roof with large overhangs and a dentiled cornice. The structure received a site quality rating of 124, deeming it an outstanding contributing site in the Center Park Historic District. And tonight we are reviewing the proposal of the painting of exterior masonry, selective masonry, and the work has been completed. And the standards that apply to this project are standard number 2. The historic character of a property shall be retained and preserved. The removal of historic materials or alteration of features and spaces that characterize property shall be avoided. Number 5, distinctive features, finishes, and construction techniques or examples of craftsmanship that characterize a historic property shall be preserved. And number 6, deteriorated historic features shall be repaired rather than replaced. Where the severity of deterioration requires replacement of a distinctive feature, the new feature shall match the old in design, color, texture, and other visual qualities, and where possible, materials. Replacement of missing features shall be substantiated by documentary, physical, or pictorial evidence.
welcome. If you
Thank
could
you.
tell us your name,
Certainly. Janae Gibbs,
Okay.
my husband and I, we own 401 Oli.
both of you are the owners.
Yes, we are. We purchased December 2024. We are in love with the house. We are in love with the area. When we purchased, we noticed that there was a severe amount of work pertaining to the eaves, chipping paint. The home was vacated when we purchased. And exterior and interior, we've invested a lot of money into bringing it up. We absolutely loved it. But we recognized that it needed some work. It needed some detailing. My husband took the liberty and started the paints. We did not get an official welcome as far as a historic district, as far as what we could and couldn't do. We heard word of mouth, but we weren't exactly briefed as to what we could and couldn't do on the property. The realtor that sold kind of gave us a guidance that because the property wouldn't be sold to us until we did some substantial work on it, namely the painting, it did not approve for a VA until we came in and did some painting specifically with the eaves and the exterior. They weren't gonna pass the inspection. So we took the liberty and did so. We love the house so much, we continue to update with the brick. We later learned that the red was an offense. It wasn't done intentionally, it was done because the property, the paint was just, it was going. And, I understand that there are, guidelines, which we probably didn't go through, but in all integrity, me being an active duty service member here to help my husband, who is also veteran and handicapped, why he's not here currently. We did it in good spirits, we want to be in compliance with the historic district. It's just the time constraints, the health, and the necessity of what needed to be done. We want to comply now, but as far as the pain of what we had to utilize the help because the home was just in need of an update. So.
That stuff got moved, I'm not sure. But this is research. And there, what we found, letter was sent. If they were.
You said you had paint,
It would have.
so it could pass
That's
inspection.
correct, sir. VA would not approve with
Yeah,
the,
VA does not allow chipping paint and
So Ms. Johnson has record, she doesn't have it with her tonight because she's moving her
Yes.
office,
certainly.
but every new homeowner that moves into a historic district in our city gets a welcome letter
Okay,
from Ms. Johnson's office saying, hey, congratulations, you bought a house in a historic district, and can you explain some of
Yeah,
the things?
and gives the basics on the historic district guidelines, and if you are to do any work on the exterior house or property, that it has to go through the review board process, and that letter was sent to
I know, I
to the
believe you.
property.
I believe you, ma'am, and respectfully, I would say that the letter probably would do better if we saw maybe faces, listen, we're coming over because we learned about the citation because somebody called my husband, someone called him. We didn't learn about the citation through a letter, we learned because someone called and said we weren't in compliance. So maybe I'm not tracking if there was something sent out because the work was completed and we didn't get anyone that dropped in and said, hey, this is something that you're not supposed to do. And then prior to that, when we painted for the loan to be approved, we didn't get anyone that said anything either.
They're not going to, nobody's gonna come to your house and say, hi, you live in a historic district. I think it's partially Ms. Johnson's responsibility to welcome you, but also as a homeowner buying a property, a significant property in a beautiful neighborhood where I live too, that you take that responsibility to
For
find out.
sure, that's why we took the responsibility to do the updates. And we just weren't correct in doing so, but this is not a normal procedure for those, Reading being a historic district, this is our first go around.
Mhm.
So normally you would do repairs, you do the repairs, no one is really, paying any attention. So this is a unique situation and one that we probably just got a little ahead of ourselves in doing so. but not to be an offense, not to just be disrespectful, you know, in any way, shape or form.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And thankfully, it's pretty minor, relatively speaking, we're talking
Yes,
about
ma'am.
paint
Yes.
from, you know, painting over surfaces with a more appropriate color and removal of paint on the sidewalk surfaces. So you didn't go in and tear out historic features or anything that would be very difficult to replace. We could be having a more difficult conversation, but this seems fairly simple and straightforward to remedy.
Yes, ma'am.
So just kind of putting it into
Sure,
context,
for
but
sure.
we appreciate you being earnest about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And we
and
love it.
yeah,
We
good,
love
that's
it.
great, we love to hear
We
that
love
too.
My husband has been very excited with the property and just, you know, kind of getting their hands all in, but if the red is too eccentric, then we can do more of a rust.
Yeah,
It's not a problem.
yeah, that'd probably be a little.
Matches the cushions.
He loves it. Listen, he
I
loves the
replace-
flowers.
I need to replace the cushions.
The flowers, and we pass that area, you can tell that we absolutely love it. And I'm very rarely there, like I said, I'm active duty, I'm currently deployed in Guantanamo Bay. So my husband, this is his baby, if you can just kind of imagine that, so, yeah.
And you can present us with like a couple reds.
Oh, nice.
And then,
Make a decision.
but they might all be fine.
Okay.
And then you can just choose your favorite.
Fair enough.
This is my favorite, my second, third.
Fair enough, thank you.
That paint on the sidewalk, they'll probably a very short amount of time, will probably take care of that before anything else.
For sure.
Yeah.
So if we can identify the area, we're talking specifically the sidewalk, not the main sidewalk, but one that leads up to the stairwell, I guess you'll kind of give me the lay of what needs to be on.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do now.
Okay.
Side on toning it down and how to take care of that part of the sidewalk.
I did research my older photos and I think it was 2015. So my photos show, pretty sure it's 2015. This photo shows that there was like a rust color paint, a diamond just in this area, but not up here.
Well, it became, from looking at it and from what I've seen and just with how the house looks, that paint, it just over time, it faded.
Yeah.
So it may not have been rust, we might have been looking at something that was a different red, but I'm in total agreement, we could definitely look at something else more, cohesive with what the entire house looks like, the original state. The only thing that I respectfully want to add is that I've noticed in the area that there are a lot of homes that are in need of, just some updates with the awnings. And part of the reason why my husband and I wanted to come is because, we've done a lot of these repairs on our own. And our understanding after reading, when I printed out, is that the historic board is supposed to encourage people to do these things to bring and uplift the property value. So is this just something that we need to do for our home? Are you looking at, talking to other members or encouraging other people to come here to do different updates on their properties?
And
Because, yeah, go ahead.
I'm glad you brought that up. So the Historic Architecture Review Board covers 5 historic districts in the city. Center Park Historic District is its own entity. The Historical Society, that's its own entity. So Center Park has started projects within the neighborhood to encourage rehabilitation. We don't look at damage so much. We look at what the replacement is when people want to work on their projects, and we approve or don't approve it. And we try to guide them into what is appropriate for those properties.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think that's where, and it can be confusing. I've lived in Center Park for 31 years and it can still be confusing as to who is responsible for what, who is in whose piece is education and getting the word out there. And I will tell you that if you go to the Center Park Historic District building where the Artifacts Bank is, it's 705, 707 North 5th. You can get a lot of education there. They offer all kinds of meetings. They have an Artifacts Bank. It's the most active historic district in the city. And they will they will guide you, but they have a calendar of events where they will have special meetings to talk about preservation and things like that.
Understood, so
Yeah.
just so I'm crystal clear, this is just for the review board specifically for any updates, repairs, etc. We need to attend the historic board meetings if we want to do for anything, basically, okay,
Yes,
Got
and the city has a property maintenance office.
yes,
So that's another outlet that they monitor the structures and deterioration. And they require people to, you know, paint their properties or what have you. When that happens, then before any work begins,
They
they
come to
come
us,
to us, so. This
understood.
is the review board just reviews exterior work.
So you would go to Ms. Johnson's office for an application for appropriateness.
Yes, ma'am,
And then if you see rotted wood or a house deteriorating, that's building and trades codes. Once the person starts that project to repair, that's us.
understood, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am,
And you can feel free to contact me at any time and I'm happy to answer any
thank you
questions.
so much,
Or help you with any other departments too. So.
thank you.
And if you do a repair that it was bad piece of wood, and you replaced it with the exact same kind of piece of wood or whatever like that.
Yes, sir.
On that line, same design, same everything, that's something that Ms. Johnson would do at staff office. You don't have to come to this meeting, so
Okay,
it's only when it's, you know, you're deviating away from what,
yes,
you know, what was there before, or adding something new that wasn't there before, or
Yes, sir.
something like that. That's where we come from.
understood,
And painting of exterior surfaces I can approve too, but I defer to the board for colors that are out of the appropriateness for the historic district, which is where you fall in.
understood, yep, now I have it, thank you,
Sure.
The beautiful house.
thank you, ma'am, we're working hard.
All right. Back to the paint.
Well, we've determined the color is not appropriate because and that's why you're here,
Yes,
so,
ma'am,
so essentially the process would be that the board would vote on another, not necessarily a specific color, more than likely we'd have the historic preservation officer work with you to find a more appropriate color.
so,
And the more appropriate color, in my opinion, and that of the executive committee would be returning back to the color that was there originally, one that matches the brick, because those surfaces were painted before. So you put another color on and what would be most appropriate would be to return it to a color that's more in keeping with the color of the brick.
Okay.
Or another color, I suppose, but since that was there and that had been previously painted, that seems to have a nice seamless look with the rest of the house and doesn't really stand out in the way that the current red does.
okay,
Now, as far as the sidewalk or that area just right below the main steps, I don't think we were aware of that painted. It's generally not appropriate to paint the masonry, like especially surface ones like that.
okay,
And I don't believe that it really enhances the and avoid damage to the concrete.
okay.
Yeah.
I just get I'm sorry, go ahead.
So no, go ahead.
I'm just envisioning, I said, but I haven't been here in about 3 months, so we're talking about that stairway and then there's a diamond.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly, yeah, on
When
the,
we say a sidewalk, we're not talking about the.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that slab of concrete just below your main steps
Okay.
there, yeah.
And this area too, where it's painted the
The
diamonds
what?
and up closer to the house.
Oh, that's right, okay, yeah, and there was nothing there
But
before,
there was nothing.
correct, okay,
Yes.
yeah. on
The porch has the diamonds too, we wanna return those back to a more rustic color.
So what we can do as a board is, the board can make a motion for the areas that need to be redone.
Okay,
And then you can come up with some paint colors that
yes,
would be more rustic or brick, or come up with like 3 of them, and Miss Johnson, then you can send those to Miss Johnson and she can approve those at staff level.
So does the board have a recommendation if we were to vote to remove the paint at the minimum on the main house porch? What's the best method for that, without changing the color? Think just a paint remover?
Yeah.
There's a number of different methods for removing paint from concrete. I actually, I might differ from the rest of the board members on this. I don't mind it being painted. The areas that were painted, I don't find them objectionable, it's just the color.
Yeah.
And
And the other thing to consider also is that it's within a year's time, it's gonna probably fade a little bit anyway, so.
yeah, I mean, I don't know what type of paint level works. There are paints that are for concrete,
And you have to make sure, but you paint concrete, it's gonna be a slipping hazard.
It could be, but if the
Unless you-
surface is profiled enough,
Well,
that'll come through, that'll telegraph through the paint coating and it'll give you a slip resistance.
the house next door to me, when he redid the house last year, he painted the stairwell going up and half that paint's already off already, so. You know, like I said, I think Mother Nature will take care of that and bring anything else, but, yeah.
Without knowing the type of paint, but just as far as,
That's one of the reasons why masonry isn't typically painted, just it's a maintenance issue.
We just wanted, we noticed that it was missing, it was discolored. It wasn't, to me, you know, it was an eyesore, but I could live without it for my husband. He just has a detail and he wanted to beautify the house.
Sure.
I mean, it was colored. So if it was painted, I don't know if they had brick that was colored, but whatever the case is. We did it because it was discolored already. It was like missing pieces.
The diamonds on the front porch, how many are there? I see 3 right in front of the door. And then going off to the left and the
I
right.
think there's either 1 or 2.
Okay,
And they're like kind of centered with the porch.
okay.
When we bought the house, it was that front porch area, like the house needed a lot of,
I know that house well.
and it was vacated,
Yep.
so. We saw the diamonds and it just didn't look right.
Do you remember, Amy? Cause I think at the front door, there's like one big diamond and two
Mhm.
small ones.
There's,
Are
there's.
there other
3,
sets
2
of
small-
diamonds?
Yeah, one on either. Did you say one on either side?
It is either 1 or 2.
There's
I've
3
seen it.
3
In the center.
diamonds in the center of in front of the door and then 1 diamond on either.
Got it. Okay, got it. That's what.
Yeah.
Yes, your place at one time was an accounting office, so that's why the garage is turned into space.
Yes, and then the family that had it, I believe after it was commercial, they went into a short sale, almost foreclosure. So we had to sand floors, we did a lot.
That was a pastor that was from Trent,
Mhm.
for whatever reason.
It was
he
a
had-
foreclosure.
It was a short sale, it wasn't a foreclosure. So we had to bring it up to snuff before the VA.
And I don't think he ever spent any time in that building, outside of some of the things that he did in the beginning. It's nice to see lights on in there again.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
And I walked by that the other night,
Alright.
like the dining room's lit up, so it looked really nice.
Yes, thank you. We're trying.
The matter at hand.
Let's bring it back to the matter. I like that.
Thank you. Thanks, Kurt.
Oh, we've been at the matter at hand in and out for a little bit.
You.
Oh, okay.
One wanna make a motion?
Look at you.
I'm like, to be honest, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm right in the middle on this one.
I'll make a moment.
Alright.
to approve the repainting of areas that have been painted at 401 Holy Street using the color Valspar Red Bliss in an alternate color to be submitted for approval at staff level. And that would include all of the areas that were painted in that color, the front door, top of the 4 brick columns, partial painting of the concrete. And base of the garage.
And the water table.
My motion.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
All right, Mr. McDevitt,
Yes,
Mr. Politeca,
Yes,
Ms. Weller.
Yes.
Mr. Booth.
Yes.
So basically, Ms. Johnson will then be in contact with you with that motion, and then you'll come up with some. Words. And submit them to Ms. Johnson, and she can approve those at staff level for.
Just bring in the, like, the little card.
From
from the-
swatches?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
Very well, thank you.
All right, thank
So
you
you'll
very
be in
much.
contact
thanks very much.
Yes, yes,
And
Thank
you'll
you.
tell us the time frame in which to do so.
yes.
Okay,
Look for the letter.
yes, ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good night.
Okay, the next property on our agenda tonight is 536 South 7th Street. Ms. Johnson will talk about the property, and then we'll give you some time to explain your project.
So this is 536 South 7th Street. The historic integrity of this 2.5-story row home has been substantially compromised with the application of perma stone at the front facade, the replacement of windows and the front entrance door, and the installation of aluminum capping at the transom above the front entrance door. The structure received a site quality rating of 26 and is not a contributing building in the Prince Historic District. And tonight we are reviewing the proposal for the replacement of an existing 4-foot-high wood fence with a 6-foot-high white vinyl or wood fence at the southern property line. And the standards that apply to this project are numbers 2, 5, and of which I read earlier, and the HARB fence policy. And if you just want to explain your proposal.
Sure, the reason behind replacing the fence is it's starting to break and stuff like that, and also in the summer, it's very difficult to walk out the door without getting hit with like a carpenter bee in your face, pretty much. So that was the reasoning behind the vinyl, going vinyl versus going with replacing it again with wood all over again. Most of the summers we come out and it's hard to get through that little area right there. And again, that's the only reason why we decided to maybe replace it with something vinyl and to be able to enjoy the yard without having, bees in your face and stuff like that. And pretty much that's it, but we also have, we talked and we also, depending on the decision that you make, we were also willing to go with a wooden fence again. We wouldn't like to, that wouldn't be our first option at all. But if it's something that needs to be done, then we're willing to do that.
And it's only this section of the fence that goes from the house to there's a garage, like not your, or no, it's a.
There's
home.
another home in
Yes.
the alleyway, which is on Strong Street.
Yes, and it's abandoned.
Which is also, yeah, that's also a nice word, because that yard is full of, you name it, and it's pretty much almost to the top of the fence, so it's probably like 2.5, 3 feet of stuff that's in there. Also, we just would like to just kind of like not see that, I can enjoy my yard without having to see the eyesore on a daily basis.
So you wanted a 12-foot high fence.
Yeah, it was illegal, 6 foot 5 the highest I could go, so
Yeah.
just to believe.
So you don't
Um,
really want the wood fence.
Well, yeah, not to mention that I open my door and I can see my neighbors in
Yeah.
the kitchen cooking.
Yeah.
It just feels kind of awkward, like,
Yeah.
hey, bro,
Close there.
and he's right in his kitchen.
I really like that wood fence, the pictures that you sent in. We looked at them last week in our executive meeting.
Mhm,
It's,
mhm.
is that local? Did you find that online or was that somewhere local that you can buy that?
That, I
The
think,
wood fence.
that fence that's there was probably there,
Yes,
that is, us, actually a company called All Fences. They actually make handmade wooden fences, they got built by hand wood, screwless aluminum, and they also have,
That's
wood
different.
ply.
Yeah, isn't it neat though? I
Yeah.
really love that.
That's different.
It's more of like a modern style.
It is,
So,
yeah.
They also have an option, I have some pictures here of some options that are the wood and also vinyl. And I'll pass this around, maybe you guys can take a look at it.
Just so you know, the carpenter fees are gonna be there no matter
Yeah,
what. They're gonna go under
Um,
your eaves and I deal with them at my house. We put screen like under railings, under our eaves. So they can't drill up through, but it's like, what is it, 2.5 months of,
Yeah,
there's nothing.
and they love that fence,
Yeah,
I'm sure they do.
sure.
It's
They love it.
tasty, huh?
Yeah.
very tasty for them.
I take the brown paper bags and make them look like hornets nests, and that slows it down a little, does it? Well, it doesn't stop it, but it slows it down. That's neat.
Yeah, we wanna do something nice, you understand, I didn't even know we were in a historic district until, I actually called the city and was wondering what happened to the permits
Yeah.
that we had
Okay.
placed in, I
Okay.
think June, the late June,
Was it
the end
all
of June,
zoning?
early July.
You started with zoning?
Yes, yes, we
Yeah.
were permits and stuff like that, and then I
Yeah.
never heard back, so I kind of gave them a call back, and then they gave me a. They actually connected me with her, and then I
Okay.
met with her, and
Okay.
then, and now we're
Now
here,
you're
you know.
getting us.
I assume
yeah.
with the vinyl fence, you're going with the haven privacy.
Yes, the first corner one.
Yep.
And then obviously the wood one would be the one in the corner at the top, left-hand corner also.
Well, I don't really have any problem with
Yeah,
the vinyl at all,
yeah,
so
we've approved it before.
I'll make a motion for 536 South Seventh Street for the approval of the installation of a 6-foot high vinyl fence
Yes.
as per proposed.
Somebody wanna second that?
Okay.
No painting, thank God.
No skating.
Well, I don't wanna paint it, I don't wanna.
I'll second the motion. I'll
Thank
second
you.
it.
Alright, Mr. Booth,
Yes.
Mr. McDevitt,
Yes.
Ms. Weller,
Yes.
Mr. Politeka.
Yes. Would you like to add a yes?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Thank you, thank you guys very much. I got one more question though, after it's approved, do we have to contact codes again, to try to get the ball moving?
I'll let
Or-
zoning know, that you've gotten approved, and then they can issue their zoning permit for you.
Alright, sounds good.
And you've applied for a building permit oh no, you don't need a building permit for a fence.
Yeah, for the
Just-
fence, we applied everything we needed for the
Okay.
fence, they actually did all the work, well, you know, they sent everything, we just were
Okay.
meeting and they gave us a call that they didn't hear back, so we kinda got in contact with you guys to make sure what was going on and stuff like that.
I'll check with the other offices and let them know that you're approved, and then they should be able to issue it right away.
Alright, thank you very much, you guys have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But thank you for applying for the permit, you did the right thing.
Yes,
You got it.
yes, you did the right thing. Yes.
Take care.
I have no.
You too. Last but not least, we have 6 North 11th Street.
Come up and join us. This one-story brick building, built in commercial style, received a site quality rating of 66 and is a contributing site in the Penn's Common District, Historic District. Simple in design, the building features a brick facade with linear casement windows and a front entrance door with window lights that mimic the building's window design. And the Secretary of Interior standards that apply to this project are 2 and 5, of which I read earlier, and the HARB sign policy. And you all have in front of you a revision that was sent to me late this afternoon. This is the sign contractor, and he revised the sign designs to more reflect what the executive committee discussed, the comments and the prior resolution. So you are free to explain the project.
Well, good evening, everyone. Hello. I'm happy to be in here with you all tonight. My name is Dave Walgerty, and I here representing the Corona Notary Corporation and also L&H Companies that I work for, and we are a signage provider at 3rd and Buttonwood Streets in Reading. So from a historical perspective, our owner moved our business back into Reading. So we have 80,000 square feet on the roof, and we do quite extensive signage projects all over the country. This particular project that we're talking about here, I got a call and I went in and met with these two very nice ladies. And of course, it was a job that is something that I normally wouldn't take. This is a very small job. Most of my jobs are like $100,000 or more, so this is obviously very small. But these poor ladies needed help. And I felt it was my responsibility to help them get through this process. Now, when I see the word HARB, I think of the word stop immediately. Because I understand doing this for 14 years and meeting with HARB boards all over the states. I understand the value of what this particular board.
We have a position open, I think.
Yeah. No, thanks. But what I do want to say to you is thank you, because you don't always hear this, you always hear the complaining. I understand that this is an important part of Reading. I was born and raised in Reading, educated in Reading, went to college in Berks County, so I'm as Reading person as you can get. I've had several businesses in Reading and understand that
You used to have Wally's Bistro.
I did,
Okay.
yeah. So, to me, I have great value when people need help. I've been on the board at the Opportunity House, raised millions of dollars there. I have a value in making sure things are staying the status quo in Reading. Subsequently, when HARB comes up, I know that's where it starts. Don't even think about permitting till you get through HARB. You've got to complete that process. So when we started designing this particular job, we read everything that we need to read. And I must admit, at this point in time, and this is a feather in your cap, dealing with this group here is better than any HARB group that I've dealt with.
Thank you.
That says a lot,
Yeah, thank you.
because you're all giving up your free time to be here, and I get that.
Can
But
you call the mayor and tell him?
yeah.
You just did.
Raise it for everyone, right? What I would say between you and Ms. Johnson, you streamline it. Just tell me what I need to do. I'm gonna do what you need me to do. My job is to bridge the gap for these poor women who wouldn't let me out of their office till I accepted the job, knowing that I'm not gonna make any money on it. But it's giving back, it's paying in full, and that's why I sit here tonight to make sure that we are good, so we can get to the next step, that you are satisfied as a board with what we're presenting. So, when Ms. Johnson asked me, I saw that letter that she sent, which I didn't see I'm dealing with two women who barely speak English. So I'm trying to remember my Spanish and trying out. And it would just go on in chaos. I've been working on this, but believe me, for about a year now.
They came in front of us before.
I know.
Yeah, they were voted.
I know, well, that's, when I came in and I knew that, I was like, it's a disaster, you shouldn't be there, let me be there, I'm used to dealing with this type of situation, the professionalism that needs to be met to get this job across the goal line. So I promised them that I would do
Did you
that.
say, I got this?
No, I never, don't forget, HARB means stop. I don't think anything is complete until you work through it as a group. And the key is in everything is communication. Ms. Johnson has been excellent to deal with, told me exactly some things, just like this morning. I was in the office this morning, I said, let's get this ready, because I'm gonna meet here tonight, and I wanna be prepared. I mean, I knew what we needed to do, but for me, it's making sure that you understand that I respect your job and what you're representing in the city of Reading, and I love it, and I hope someday that the city of Reading makes a massive comeback like it was when we were all younger, because it was a thriving place. So we're gonna get there, it's gonna take time. One of the other projects that I have been involved with was the Alberta University College Town.
Right.
I believe that falls in the historic district, right?
Yes.
So that was one of my projects, yeah, we worked through that, a little bit more flexibility. And it's making a nice impact. Anything that we can do positively that makes impact, that's what this is. This is something so small, but these two women, it's women in business. So I'm pro for that, I wanna help them. And like I said, it's been a pleasure to deal with this group, and I'm very happy, and hopefully we'll get our I's dotted and T's crossed at the end of this, and we know where we're gonna go. So,
Well, thank you.
that being said,
Yeah,
if any questions, there's a new design, I do have the old design here. One question I do have for all of you, Ms. Johnson, did you give the old and the new, or just the old?
Yes, they got the old one on Friday, but they just have this one.
So the only question I really had on the old is the fact of how are we going to light this sign? And I really wanted to come and get your input, because to me, the old historical gooseneck is, it's old school, but it's historical. So I respect that, got a couple of different ones. The one we got, I don't know if you like or not, I don't know. Also, we talked about bringing the light straight down onto the sign, which we can also do. But now, here's the thing, this is what I want to caution you on as a board. That light can be quite bright because of the LED power.
Okay.
The softer lighting, to me, is the boosting. So I'm willing to do whatever you think you want to do. I'll go get whatever lighting you need to get. I just want you to tell me what you think looks best. What's gonna represent HARB better?
just for the record, this is not what the executive committee looked at last week. So we made some recommendations on what Ms. Johnson originally sent us. And then this was sent, as the gentleman said, this afternoon. So I don't think any of us have had time to look at this.
I think the first question is, how does this differ? I know that I'm reading the previous resolution on this property that was issued last May. And I know the orientation of the sign on the large. It should be, but the large expansive brick, on the side was a horizontal sign, and we had asked that it not be mounted any higher than the cornice on the roof there. So I don't know if you haven't had any time either, Amy, to look and see how it compares to that resolution. I realize the lighting is separate, that's a new
That's
aspect
new
of the.
aspect. How this differs is that I believe the
sizes.
so
The sizes are meeting within what you're asking.
Yeah.
and I think the original resolution had as you said, a horizontal
It did,
sign,
yep.
this is more vertical,
Right.
but it was to be, to include, or to be mounted and sized so that the chimney was surface was on either side,
Right,
so it's
exactly.
centered on the chimney.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
this is,
right.
it's just vertical.
Yeah.
And then, in the other resolution, the owner was allowed to, or approved to, or she had refaced the sign already, but hadn't been, had submitted an
By the
application for it.
board. Yeah,
And the board approved it to be approved at staff level, but now she's, asking for a completely different sign altogether, so that's different. Different size, slightly larger,
Yeah.
but. Dave has, reduced the width of the sign so that it will fit in between those brick.
Yeah, the sign, if you see that they have there, it's kind of, feels like it's being squeezed in there.
yeah,
So we're taking relief of that, giving it a little bit more of a professional look, I guess you would say, which I think makes sense.
Yeah.
And then, of course, with the vinyl act, we took away the branding, just listed the company name and ours, which is what also was requested by Ms. Johnson. Everything that is on this new is been sent to us from Ms. Johnson, and we follow that to the. I made sure that got followed to the. Every inch of it.
So point of clarification, this is not a proposed sign, this is not.
No.
No.
Final.
No, that's just,
Yeah.
yeah, that's, you know, if you really think about it, when you think of notary, when you think of notaries today, the blue, the white and yellow is kind of the standard color. I don't like it, but we, you know, this is us, I mean, this is really a customer's brand. I just bring this in. This has nothing to do with it. The only things that we're making are pages 2, was it 1, 2, and 3?
I agree, yeah.
I wasn't going to include that, but you had made it published. So.
Yeah, I
I
know.
felt bad if I didn't include it.
Other clarification or question, I guess for the executive committee, have any calculations been done on the square footage?
I did not do this, calculations, mainly because I wasn't sure how wide the building is on the front.
I believe all the square footages have been met.
But
It's typically
it's,
like-
yeah,
It's 2 times the.
right,
It's 2 times the width of the building, so yeah, so I would judge that it would be within.
15 by 20 by 20, right for that, and then what's the other one, 36 by 48.
When I originally read the first item, they said about the sign on the brick face, it was not to go above
The roof line.
the roof line. And then, you know, that to me tells me you almost had that whole sign from there down. But we knew that wasn't the right answer. The answer is trying to center it where it looks proportionally eye-catching, but not going over the limit for square footage.
I'm just looking in the resolution that was passed last year. There's a.
And there, the resolution from last year, did not include, or the proposal did not include anything on the front entrance door. She had several signs on the entrance door that the board asked to have removed, so now this will be a much cleaner.
Yeah, I would be the first to agree with you. When you go up there, you can't, and I explained to them that, you know, you really wanna make a clean element here. It's gonna help drive traffic here when people see all that. And this is, you're not selling hamburgers and hot dogs here on the side. It's a business. So we wanna represent it professionally.
Yeah, that's a bad intersection there, I think people focus so much on merging into that on 11th Street.
Yeah, they moved through there pretty quick, right?
Yeah,
And I mean, wow.
I mean, I would guess that the front of this building is at least 30 feet wide.
I know it is because I measured it.
Yeah.
It's 44 feet.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
So they would be allowed 88
If
square
the
feet.
building
of frontage.
I
occupies.
calculated like 14, so,
Okay.
yeah,
Altogether.
Altogether, yeah.
Okay.
I was even generous with the front sign. 2 square feet, and then the side one is 3 by 4, that's 12, so 14, so.
And the open sign and auto tags will remain.
Yes, they were approved and the owner has, they were approved as per the former
May twenty
resolution.
twenty-four, they came in front of us and we approved that, so.
And they were just located in the front window.
And they're regretting that.
No, they had
Okay.
two huge open signs, they had signs all
We
over
made
the
them tone
place.
it down a little.
Yeah,
So-
there you go.
In the
And
windows.
and the board also approved the sidewalk sign as well.
Okay.
And good for them, they've been there over a year,
Yeah.
so.
Hey, I gotta tell you, they're two hardworking ladies, and I support them, so much so that I do stuff in the farm business, and I'll drive into there because I wanna help them. So that's my commitment from an outsider.
This was, they had two signs in the window.
Yeah, they had a lot.
They had a lot of
It's really
signs on the
simplified.
front end
Yeah,
of the store.
yeah, I told them, you gotta, I said, let's simplify that.
The tree is hiding some signage, but they've abided by everything the board
It's
has.
such a strange building.
Seems to be an old doctor's
The
office.
dentist,
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
dentist.
So the bar that I used to own, as you well know, is a couple blocks up on the right.
Yeah.
Would that be in the historical district, 301 North 11th? I don't think. it
No,
Yeah.
you're right off.
was. Right off, just
Yeah.
missed it. Huh, how about that? That's a long time ago, and I'm an old man now.
So I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think it's a pretty simple project, and I just wanna be able to get it over the goal line for these ladies.
How about the lighting?
So, yeah, it's a lot.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about
Yeah,
that. What do you guys think?
Regardless of what the proposal looked like before the sign, the building, although gooseneck would work, but the style of the building is not traditional.
Mhm.
And typically that's a more traditional style that we use for older buildings, so
Okay.
we banter around the idea or the suggestion that maybe it's just a simple
Yeah,
light bar or something.
And
If we were to make the fixture a feature, that it be more of a modern style of
Yeah,
fixture.
I think that building's probably from the fifties
Yeah.
probably.
Oh, yeah. Very
yeah, I would
And
agree.
I would think that something in that
Yeah.
era of time would be more suitable
Yeah.
for gooseneck, would be like more.
So, I thought I had a picture of that, I don't know why it's not on here. Wait, do you have a copy of it maybe?
No, you didn't send me.
I don't know.
Says something here about light strip.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what we, right. Right. Oh, no, here, this is actually, if you go to this, I knew it was there. If you go to this here, this is a side profile. So we're actually showing you what that would be. Alright. So it's not something big and dramatical, it's actually more streamlined. I just don't know how hard alias stop wants to look at. So if you want a gooseneck, we'll put a gooseneck up there. If that works for you, that's obviously something I'm sure I can work out with Ms. Johnson. I can present something a little bit more detailed drawing,
Yeah,
but I can get that, that's not.
and I know you mentioned LED lighting, but there's different types of lighting, like soft and harsh, and so it could be, it doesn't have to be that bright.
We want soft though,
We
right?
want soft.
Yeah, we want something that illuminates the sign.
Illuminates the sign.
Not from the side, not.
I don't need to see it from Cotton Street, I just need
You
to.
can shine down.
Yes, well, that's what I'm saying, it's gonna, if you imagine me, this is the sign. I know you're looking at this thing, that's a washboard, right? Yeah, right. When it comes down, it's a direct down, it's not,
Washes the sign down.
yeah, it's not, we're lighting the sign and that's it.
Right. Not the sidewalk, just.
Yeah, not that, yeah, not interested. Okay.
What's the board's opinion on a gooseneck?
I don't think it's appropriate.
Okay,
Okay,
How for the style of the building.
yeah,
Now,
okay, I like that,
okay,
progressive,
yeah, we are.
And
I like it.
I didn't think
We're
about
putting
that
ourselves
when
in the
I talked to you, so I'm
1950s now.
sorry.
I went for the gooseneck because when you talk hard, oh, that's historical looking, you know, and there's
fit the
a
building. though.
bevy of
Yeah.
products out there that you can use.
Yeah, it doesn't fit the building though.
I agree.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
Okay.
Now, if you really want to have fun with this, you gotta say you're gonna paint the whole front of the building.
Oh, my God, yeah. Well, believe me, are there not places that we would see?
Yeah.
Outside of the historical
Yeah.
district, that are like that, and don't you cringe when you try by them, they go like, God, right? So, okay. Any other questions?
Well, I think we have to determine how we wanna get some lighting approved here, whether it's a staff level lighting, cause I mean, unless we've got some ideas, I'm gonna go with the simple, just maybe a simple light bar of some type,
Sure.
just
Yeah.
minimal,
Yep.
we don't wanna make it a feature, just something minimal that lights a sign and just does the job, yeah, without screaming, look at me,
Yeah, man, I'm not
yeah.
but and if that's okay, I can work that out with Ms. Johnson.
Yeah, I think you comfortable with that?
I'd be comfortable.
Yeah, simple, yep.
I'm looking for a
Yeah,
suggestion.
Now, more than likely, you'd have to run some conduit, I presume there's no power. there,
Right, we'd have
now.
to come through the wall.
Well, through the wall,
Yeah,
okay, so you can do that,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
alright,
yeah,
good,
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, we prefer to not see any exterior.
Correct,
Conduit if we can
yeah,
avoid that,
that
yeah.
should be, we should be able to
Great.
pump that through there and then, you know. We can hide it in the top thickness of it, you know,
Okay.
behind it or
Okay.
something. I mean, it just has to come out just a
Yeah.
little.
And if you can keep your drilling to the mortar as much as possible, it might be difficult to avoid drilling to the brick, but especially if you're going from the inside, but we do prefer drilling into mortar.
But here's the
There
thing,
You see that white
in the sign business,
Yeah.
You know.
so
Yeah.
that is something we follow
Okay.
directly. We never penetrate the first surface, which is the brick.
Okay,
We always penetrate the ground.
Yeah.
okay,
Because for some reason that sign's gotta come down,
Yeah.
you can just go in and
Prepare it,
clean that
yeah,
ground right up.
okay.
So we definitely make sure we do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, I think between Miss Johnson and I'll give her some examples.
Okay.
And then you can say, okay, I like this or I like that, as long as everybody's okay with her
Yeah.
making that decision, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Okay. Yes,
Okay, sorry. All right, let me get back to Gmail. Okay, so I move to issue a COA for 6 North 11th Street for the installation of the sign on the tall brick pillar. The new sign by the door and then the signage on the front door, the vinyl lettering, all within keeping of the HARB sign policy. And then the installation of a small minimal light bar, the style and color to be approved, Amy, in coordination with some.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. McDevitt,
Yes.
Mr. Booth,
Yes.
Ms. Weller,
Yes,
Mr. Politeka.
Yes.
thank you very much.
Now you can go.
And don't forget when you use that, HARB meet stop.
You should come and be our spokesperson.
Yes, in fact, you can vote for mayor, if you'd like, okay?
You know, I've had that question
I'm
asked to
sure
me
you have,
a
yeah,
1,000 times.
yeah.
But I will say, it's a tough job. But I gotta tell you what I do like. I like coming into this building. It is immaculate. It is clean and it's a pleasure walking here. I really do like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I live out of the country, so I'm used to getting my feet dirty all the time. So it's nice to come into somewhere and have it do professionals this, so we're getting there.
Yeah.
Walk before you run.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, folks, well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
Be safe going home.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
your
Take
time,
care.
for helping.
Yeah, and I'll be in
the owners
touch.
This summer.
Yeah.
Yep, sounds good.
The girls will be happy.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for your help.
Thank you.
Alright. Was there any updates to the previous HARB resolutions by staff? Review.
No.
Anything for education and outreach?
Oh, the staff approval.
Separate to stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. Anybody have any questions about the application approved by staff? There's 3 here. Someone want to make a motion to accept the applications approved by staff?
I make a motion to accept the applications approved by staff.
Someone want to second that?
Second it.
Mr. Booth,
Yes.
Ms. Weller,
Yes.
Mr. McDevitt,
Yes.
Mr. Politeco.
Yes.
Alright, now we go to, I think Ms. Cody shares the communication and outreach. She is not here this evening. Does anybody else have anything that they want to discuss with regards to that topic? Alright, seeing none, policy committee report.
We did meet this month, made some headway, some updates to the draft door policy. We're getting close. We may have something to present at the next meeting.
Nice. Thank you for that. Does anybody have anything else they want to discuss?
Were there any questions or any discussion needed on the, I know maybe you sent out the resolutions, I know you had requested that, were there any discussion?
I don't have.
Okay, all right.
I wanted to say something. Not about that, but. We had an application in front of us. During the executive committee last week that we totally took off the agenda. If you guys wanna take the time to read, that property is on the back page right here. I don't wanna talk about it too much because we did take it off the agenda, but. My recommendation is that it is detailed. I mean, detailed, and we didn't feel comfortable. There's a lot of things on there, that's. I don't think you guys got because we didn't put it on
Yeah.
tonight's agenda, but my recommendation to the board is that we meet with our solicitor. To discuss this item. This application before November's meeting, and. I hate to do this, but, cause I know we're all.
Can I ask a question? Is this about a parking lot?
Yes,
That goes with the restaurant?
yeah,
Yes, yes.
Wasn't this before us a while ago?
this is different now. They wanna take part of it out of the historic,
It's the same property though,
yes.
but the.
Yeah,
But we never.
And no, it never came before
There
us.
might have been
Not-
some discussion.
We went to zoning a few times.
Yeah, zoning and the planning commission.
Yeah, I think it was shot down, wasn't it?
No, they actually got it approved by
Got it.
by
First time
zoning.
zoning, it was shot down,
Yeah.
second time it was approved.
Okay.
And the planning commission has approved it with two conditions, one to get the HARB approval. And one to get the approval from city council for the removal of parking spaces across from the driveway open or the parking lot opening. And I'm going to send out the information to you, but Emily, the planner who has attended meetings for planning commission and the zoning hearing board is going to do what do I say, shade a diagram or a site plan to show exactly what part of the property is going to, they're requesting be removed from the historic district. So when she sends that to me, I'll send it all out.
Part of that, a
Yeah.
parcel of it.
Has this ever been done before?
We have added to the historic
Nothing.
district, I don't think we've ever removed
If I'm
lands.
correct, and I'm maybe wrong, but yeah, if I am wrong, correct me. I think this is a portion of. They purchased a building on North Third Street and they wanna take the backyard of that building out. Of the historic district, is that
Right.
correct?
I don't wanna talk about too much of this on the record, I don't know,
It's not
It's
on
not
the
on the
agenda,
agenda,
we don't
so-
have any application materials, so unless we're going
Right.
to have an executive session this evening, I would
Right.
say don't discuss this.
but I needed to discuss that there's something removed,
Yeah.
and that we need to have a discussion, I felt, with our solicitor.
Is it
Because
being
it's going
submitted? Was there an application?
Yeah, but it was
But it was,
wrong.
it was incomplete and it was submitted late, so that's the reason it's not on the agenda.
And it's so intense that it's a lot of information that I need to digest and have somebody, a professional, probably walk me through to make a professional decision on that.
So we're waiting on updated
Yes.
So
documentation.
once that application's submitted, right? then we make a determination from there. Okay, I got it.
Yes,
Within the timeframe that the HARB.
Problem is, they have so many days before our executive meeting to put that in, and maybe we can take our November executive meeting and have an executive session and meet with our solicitor.
For the regular meeting.
Oh, before the reg-
Was that enough time? Oh, it depends on time.
I'm going to be contacting the owner and his lawyers that attended the zoning hearing board and planning commission meetings with what is required to be submitted.
So check your emails, please. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So.
All in favor?
I. Broken down, just like.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. We're gonna do some of this stuff here.